Welcome all respected sadhakas, serious, sincere, genuine, bhaktas and jignasus and mokshu and shishya. These should be our strengthened identities day by day. When we are into the study of the Shastras, one question, one thing we have to observe is throughout the day, how much our mind's thoughts are regarding the truth. These are criteria or the basis to assess how quickly or regularly or definitely we are growing. Although, yes, we are in a time where even how to manage the cell body, even that knowledge, common sense is lacking. How to manage our relations with the world, even that common sense is lacking. How to put a check on the connection between us and the all objects so that we are not troubled by it. Even that common sense is lacking. In the world of today, where on the name of science and technology, we are digging only our grave. The timings where we are not even aware of our mind, its positivities, negativities, emotions, how they are playing a positive, non positive role in our life. When all these seemingly easier, grosser things themselves are totally unaware and ignorant of them, we are in this world actually studying about the sublime truth, the reality indicated in the Upanishads is really ये तो मजाक ही है. It's a ridiculous only. We don't deserve the highest, and that's how people won't come, even if they want, because the minds are lost so much into the Bhautikavada, because of which into such a tamoguna and thickness that they don't even have the strength and energy even to visit the temple which is next to their house, even to visit to a Mahatma who has come to his own town, even to visit a book spiritual which is there in their own house cupboard, who can't even visit some spiritual thoughts that are 24 hours available in the cell phone which is 24 hours in their own hands. That is the most pathetic situation the world has now is into. Anywhere, even if spirituality is there, most of it is of show off type, some of it is of commercial type, some of it is little interest, not the deep compulsion, because the other things are not there to do. Chalo, let us do this. In this way only today's world is there. All our genuine studying of Vedanta Upanishads to know the truth and do the sadhana is very, very, very rarely found. And yet, we don't know why the Lord, the Guru Parampara, has given us this opportunity, blessing, orders for us to go through. We are only going through, browsing through. Even we, with all our efforts of so many years, still are vague in every aspect of the truth reality. Its Swarupa, its Shaktis, its role in the world, what is our relation with it, how we have to connect to it, how to reach to it. इन सारे चीज़ें बार बार सुन रहे हैं, लेकिन the thickness of intellect that doesn't retain it, then the information knowledge itself is not retained. How we can be inspired to walk the adhyatmika tough sadhana of all sorts of inner and outer tapasyas, where we have to give up the easier things and we have to take up the tougher things. So we can become aware of all these aspects and then through that see to it what therefore is to be done. What is to be done is that's what the thought we started with. Ki as a result of our Shravana Adi, how much of the day of ours of the class is remembered about the truth. How many minutes, seconds, depending on that, our progress is assured or not. As much coming to the satsang is a good, great thing. If even this is not done, we are totally 100% into worldliness. But after this, the data that is carried here has to linger in our minds. For that, the best thing is spare some 10-15 minutes morning, evening to ponder over these thoughts. Remember, everything has be done only when we have the confidence, we feel the need of it, first, then confidence that we can do it, then we take the risks. Why do we use the word the risk is what? Because any spiritual sadhana appears to be risky. Why? Because it as if makes us feel that while doing spirituality, something we are losing. And wherever there is a fear of losing something, that aspect is called as risk taking, fear of losing. So definitely we lose. What do we lose is our own ignorance, our own negativities. Good bargain only. So let us take the risk in spirituality. You know, this taking the risk, if we don't take up, we go on out of the fear of losing something. We don't do the sadhana. What do we have the fear of losing? Our comforts, our bhoga, our sukha, our habitual way of living the outer life in which we are settled, whether it is giving us higher happinesses or not, but the settling in them itself is a giving a habitual sukha. Abhyasa Ramanam, it is called as. So we're all in the Ramana of the Abhyasa, therefore we feel it's a risk to do something spiritual, like morning. आराम से मन सोने का मन होता है 9 8 बजे 7 6 7 तक. So get up at 4. It appears to be a risk that 1 hour निद्रा कम हो गई तो बीपी बढ़ेगा, शुगर बढ़ेगा, हार्ट प्रॉब्लम बढ़ेगा. देखो, it feels like risk. And if we come to the class or study books at home, we don't know, we may have to miss to talk to our friends or relatives or children who are abroad. तो लगता है कि कोई रिस्क है, इसलिए चलो हम इसी को छोड़ते हैं. There are very petty but very strong weaknesses we all possess, because of which unknowingly we have no strength, stamina, courage, conviction to do the due things, to grow spiritually, even after listening, even after being regular in the Shravana front. But only Shravana is not going to help, no? So we have to, in this way, find where we are going wrong, what good can be done. And the ultimate thing is the first basic thought which we started today. Ki throughout the day, how much of the truth is remembered us? Better through the spiritual, scriptural, Upanishadic sentences. If the sentences are not removed mantras, never mind, theme can we remember. There is some substratum behind beyond everything, which is non-cognizable by any of the faculties. Yet it is there, and that is infinite. That's all provided. That is the self of all. So too, it is the self of me too, and I am that. That way, I am the substratum of the whole universe. So therefore, I need not be conditioned by one individuality concept. I need not be conditioned by the upadhis endowed with that one individual concept. Now, are these thoughts, if we are able to entertain, we are in a very good high level of spiritual evolution. अगर ऐसी बातें याद आती रहती है तो, unless this is done, the pushes and pulls by the upadhis, by the vasanas, samskaras, which we cannot come out of those clutches. What are all these habits, vasanas, upadhis do are, first, they don't allow us to rise above them. Second, putting us at that level, tempting us with all sukha bhoga, they make us do all nonsense. While doing all that nonsense, we suffer because consequence of wrongdoing. Yet these upadhis, these ignorances, make us loiter only in that dirty life of matter and extrovertedness. They don't allow us to rise above. If at all any one noble thought comes one day to rise above, immediately all of them put together, like that India Alliance third, right? They try to pull down, put together, that thought is not allowed or encouraged. So this is how subconscious में इवन कॉन्शियस में भी होता ही रहता है हमारे अंदर. इन सारे चीज़ों का स्मरण रहना, याद रहना, then having the solution also known, which is very very tough. Huh? Diagnosing problems if itself is a great achievement. Finding the solution, knowing the solution is a tough thing. It is being told to us, but we have not registered. लाइक ये शरीर के स्वास्थ्य के लिए छोटे छोटे नुस्खे हमने इतने बार सुना बट कोई याद ही नहीं होता. We are very good in forgetting. So too the solutions, though heard, registering them, retaining them, and then the challenge of applying them. The solution applied solves the problem, but applying the solution again is a task. Like taking tablet regularly is a solution, but remembering it and taking the tablet or buying the stock, keeping ready, ये सब फिर we feel like a strenuous job. Injection, it's a pain, no doubt, but it's a solution for the disease whatever we have. Sometimes, many a time, we don't even recognize or remember solution. We just in the problem only brood or suffer. Sometimes, even if we know solution, the guts to apply the solution won't come to us. We are afraid of it. विचित्र होता है मनुष्य का मनोबुद्धि, है ना. If it is not thoroughly understood along with where it is going wrong, what right it has to be done, ये सारा बात समझ में नहीं आते हैं ना. तो we are very funny creatures in the world, claim to be very wise, but there is no iota of wisdom also. Everywhere, very conspicuously, our bevakufi murkhata is so clearly seen. Actually, how we live every day, how we are living our year, whole life for what it is spent, we are not even aware of it. So blind fellows we are. That is how the power of avidya and maya. That's why thorough, regular study of all shastras, going through them through contemplation, grasping the essence of all of it, retaining that, looking at life from that standpoint, and then assessing whether what path we are going is right or not. Then, when we find it to be wrong, then changing it to the right. This all constitutes spirituality. It's not just reading some books or doing some upasana or go to some pilgrimage or do some japa. These are chote chote, but they are helpful. But they are helpful if we use them. We get the help from them. How do we do? When we know the purpose of each one of them. And to achieve that purpose only we do them. And then when that purpose is achieved, rise to the next level. In this way, we can use all these things. One of them is our regular Shravana. Shravana boosts everything in our life, the spirituality, provided we do the Shravana in that sense. If it is routine, it is mechanical, then again it also loses its interest and charm. And once one loses interest and charm in Shravana, whole thing is gone of spirituality. Because spirituality is initiated, sustained, inspired only in the Shravana of Shastra. अगर हम उसी में बोर्डम पाते हैं, उसको irregular करते हैं, तो where do we get the खुराक for spirituality? Nowhere else. Shravana is more important. Then Swadhyaya. Swadhyaya intensifies or strengthens the Shravana. Without Shravana, with our own individual mind, intellect's capacity, when we independently do Swadhyaya, that won't reveal the deeper truths in us. You know, uh, like the Wi-Fi zone. When you are in that zone, then the Wi-Fi gets connected. In the same way, the Satsanga is a zone where the entire Guru Parampara works. In that only the Upanishads, their meaning are revealed. Shastras, their meaning. Go beyond independently, you can't get the signals. So therefore, the giving by the Lord of this parampara of the Guru Shishya as well as parampara of teaching the Shastras, in that Bhagavan has given that special blessings and empowering to understand the truth, which is not understandable to us by ourselves when we study Shastra independently with our limited intellect. Therefore, first is regularity in our Shravanam, then only we do our independent Mananam, and through that only the grasping of the things start happening. We have to keep on doing them. Then pondering throughout the day. "Oh, jitna ho sake utna." It's a tough job. The toughness in this job is only because of our habits of worldliness. है ना? The mind intellect are exposed to the kshipta vikshipta bhumikas by valuing the things and beings of the world so much, and the mind is habituated to it. That same mind intellect, you want to pull it for being introverted and do the thinking on the Shastra Jnana, the mind बेचारा रोता है, बुद्धि रोती है, दुख होता है उनको, वो कहते हैं हमको इसका आदत नहीं है. Like buffalo type, you raise your children. Once they are raised as a buffaloes, now you tell those fellows to do some work, they cannot. वो चम्मच को भी धोने को उनको होता नहीं, बिकॉज दे आर ब्रॉट अप लाइक बफेलो. Suddenly you tell them, beta jaake dukaan ke lo. You use so many servants throughout your life, children's bringing up, they're not given any work. Suddenly if you tell them, it is impossible. Same way, the mind intellect, when it is continuously exposed for extrovertedness without any control, restraint, उसको उसका आदत हो गया और सडनली उसको बोलो शास्त्र पढ़ो, ध्यान करो, याद रखो दिन भर द ट्रुथ, उसे नहीं होगा हमसे. Forget about it. Is it not? So all these understandings put together is the spiritual outlook or vision. It appears to be scattered or sorted in the beginning, but that is how it is. We have to become wise, alert, active, dynamic in our mind intellect and become aware of all these things and keep doing what's to be done, keep avoiding what's to be avoided. This is how, like when you travel, you have to be aware of the vehicle, aware of ourselves, aware of the surroundings, the other traffic, the weather, the road, the turns, the twists, the red signals. सब मिलकर travel होता है. You can't be blindfolded saying that only I look at the road. No, no, no. For a safe driving, we need to know all that. So to have a good interaction with anyone, you can't say कि जो मेरे को लगता है मैं बोलता हूँ. ऐसा नहीं होता. Who is that person? What is his importance and value in general in society in relation to me? What topic I have to talk to that person with what tone and tune and speed. अरे सब मिलकर the interaction होता है. If you say no जो भी हो मैं जैसा जैसे बात करता हूँ, बात बिगड़ता है. Like the parliamentary language हो जाएगा where the people lose the dignity that they are representatives of the whole country, the people, how dignified way they have to discuss, sort out the things, every time think only in line of how the nation is helped. वो नहीं है तो जैसे वो लड़ते रहते हैं like street animals. We can't do in communicate everywhere like that, eating food. You can't be erratic like animal to eat. There's a sequence of what item to eat first, second, third, fourth. Everywhere it is so. All things have to be known. Is it not? When you saturate your house, it's not just mechanical thing. It's a thinking. है ना? Which is what for किचन के लिए होता है, बेडरूम सोने के लिए होता है, हॉल हॉल और किस जगह कौन सी चीज होनी चाहिए. In the same way, spirituality is not one blindfolded way of doing one thing. It is all inclusive. So many things put together is spiritual clarity, and all of them put together are again only for do these two things. Mind fully engrossed in the truth, thereafter, truth is experienced beyond the mind or in the dissolution of mind. उसको मन में रखते हुए आगे बढ़ना है. May we all keep up our inspiration and interest to study our Shastras always. May we get not only the literal meaning but the implied meaning of all of them regarding the truth and its reality and the techniques to reach it. We all will be inspired always to be on this path. May the gods, gurus bless us. We also should know what we have to do to be inspired on the path, as we said in the beginning today, the taking the risk factor. We have to make a habit of it. And every of the bhaktas, sadhaka, jignasu, and the parikshit's risk of not eating, drinking 7 days, even no sleep, and listening to Guru. The Nachiketa's risk of going even to Yamaraj. The Dhruva's risk of 6 months in the forest he was amidst all wild animals. Hanumanji's risk of flying over the ocean. Anything can happen, unknown place. And everywhere there is risk, risk, risk to be taken. When we are a comfort mongerers, seekers, don't take the risk. Forget about spiritual evolution. Even in the world, we cannot grow. We can't do something spectacular, substantial to reach. See the risk taken by the sports persons physically, how much exercise they do and keep fit and take part in that, get medals and all. I was so happy with this time, Asia had 81 medals already, surpassing the earlier 2018 दोहा 70 या 72 जो भी थे उस time. How much risk each one taking and struggling and all. Trying for gold नहीं मिला, silver नहीं मिला, कोई नहीं bronze. Many in a narrow way they missed the medals, but nevertheless they have done a good job of taking that risk. Even government took the risk of sending 930 people. That we must get good medals. Which government takes this type of thing earlier? कुछ करते नहीं थे इसलिए दो चार मिल जाते. See, the 81 medals is a dream only to India. Risk involved. So maybe recognize all these things, and everything is a problem in spirituality. The mind, intellect, senses, all of them put together pull us away into the worldliness. Don't allow us to focus on spirituality. All those problems are to be solved in that with that solution only. What is the solution? Struggling, taking risks to put the mind only in spirituality. There is no other way. Some prayers we can use to the Lord Guru, but most of it is in our hands to do. Prayers have given us time. Prayers are given us the conveniences. Prayers made the Lord bless us with opportunity. अब doing God cannot do. Okay, doing तो हमको करना है ना. So therefore, how to avoid all distractions? By being attending to your own spirituality. There is no other alternative, no solution. दूसरा solution नहीं सोचना. Everywhere, ज़्यादा नींद आ रहा है मेरे को, क्या करूँ? अबे नींद को छोड़ दो. That is a solution there. रिस्क लेना है, होगा क्या देखेंगे, मरोगे मरो, better. In trying to conquer the sleep, you died. It's a good effort. Example, can I? Nobody will die. Only thing is that in between period of difficulty we have to go through. Thereafter we start enjoying the result of the risk taken. No, I am not able to chant mantras. What is the solution for it? Chant. और क्या हो सकता? I am not able to do japa. क्या करूँ? करते जाओ, हो आ जाएगा. I am not able to contemplate on the mantras of Upanishad. What to do? Contemplate. वो आ जाएगा. There is no other way. Can't meditate. You do meditation, वो हो जाएगा. I am not able to do remembrance और मैं गुरु और उपासना. क्या करूँ? अरे remembrance करो सर. और क्या है? समझ में क्लास नहीं आ पा रहा हूँ. क्या करूँ? अरे आ जाओ. कौन रोक रहा है? And the solution for the not doing is doing only. Just like the solution for doing is not doing. The bad things when we do, the simple solution is don't do. स्मोकिंग का हैबिट है, मैं क्या करूं? छोड़ दो. मैं उसके बिना नहीं जी सकता. वो कोई रहो बराबर मरो. है ना? So if you take smoking is more greater than life, then die while smoking. Better to die leaving the smoking. You take that risk then. In that way. So may we all be getting clarity day by day regarding entire spirituality and doing it slowly, steadily grow. Let all weaknesses be conquered. Let all required strengths, staminas be gathered by us. सबसे important is the highest level of inspiration and the greatest ability of taking the risks. When they come to us, then at least little we can do. And it's a path alone. Nobody will be there to sympathize with you or help you. कुछ हद तक हेल्प करेंगे, है ना? हनुमान जी यात्रा याद रखो. When he's taking off, everybody will clap for him, say well, all the best, excitement. But once he takes off, goes a little ahead, he'll be all alone with all inner and outer tensions, risks, worries, anxieties. हनुमान यात्रा वही है, कोई नहीं रहेगा अकेले. अंदर भी हार सकते हैं, बाहर भी हार सकते हैं, होगा नहीं कोई मदद करने. This is how a spiritual person, because he is embarking on the path of discovering himself to be the substratum of the whole world. If that's the thing, how can he depend on anything? Anybody? Therefore, the Lord deliberately takes away all helps, all supports, so that he can discover he is the support of everything. That is how it is. Chalo, today also let us spend our day in studying our Aitareya Upanishad, Yoga Darshanam, Mundaka Upanishad, Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam, Dashamaskandham, Vedamata, doing Stuti of Bhagavan, and also in Adhyatma Ramayana, the great, beautiful topic of Sri Rama Gita. And how wonderful was Dattatreya Sahasranamavali, which we started yesterday. So let us do today's our study of Aitareya a little bit. Slowly only we are going. Neither I have the ability to summarize and put in front of you in one go. Even if I do it, the listeners, how much they have the capacity, we don't know. So slowly only one by one mantra through Bhashya, we are trying to grasp. Om, Om, Om. Om Sahana Vavatu Sahano Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavadhetamastu Ma Vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Namo Brahmadibhyo Brahmavidya Sampradaya Kartrubhyo Vamsharusibhyo Mahadbhyo Namo Gurubhyah. Om Nidhaye Sarva Vidyanam Bheshate Bhavaroginam Gurave Sarva Lokanam Dakshinamurtaye Namaha. Om Shankaram Shankaracharyam Keshavam Badarayanam Sutra Bhashya Krutau Vande Bhagavantau Munah Munah. Om Shruti Smriti Purananam Alayam Karunalayam Namami Bhagavatpada Shankaram Loka Shankaram. Om Viditakila Shastra Sudha Jaladhe Mahitopanishad Kathitarthanidhe Hrudaye Kalaye Vimalam Charanam Bhavashankara Deshikame Sharanam. Om Brahmanandam Paramasukadam Kevalam Jnanamurtim Dvandvatitam Gaganasadusham Tattvamasya Ekam Nityam Vimalamachalam Sarvadhi Sakshibhutam Bhavatitam Trigunarahitam Sadgurum Tannamami Parabrahmane Shrutimatre Samasta Brahmavidyacharibhyo ऋषिभ्यो मुनिभ्यो गुरुभ्यो अस्मद्गुरुभ्यो देवताभ्यो नमः. ओम समस्त ऐतरेय उपनिषदः आचार्येभ्यो नमः. तेषां सर्वेषां कृपानुग्रहेण उपनिषदुक्त ब्रह्मात्मैक्यबोधस्य अस्मिन् क्षणे एव अनुभवसिद्ध्यर्थं सनातनधर्मस्य विश्वव्याप्त्यर्थम् अस्मिन् कर्मणि निष्ठितानां सकल सानुकूल्यता द्वारा माहेश अभ्यंतर शत्रुविघ्न निर्मूलन द्वारा धर्म संस्थापना कार्ये नित्य निरंतर दिग्विजयार्थम श्री ऋग्वेदांतर्गत ऐतरेय उपनिषदः पारायणम् आद्यशंकर भाष्य समेत अध्ययनं वयं सर्वे करिष्यामहे। आदौ पारायणम्। ॐ मनस्तापतमशान्त्यै यस्य पादनखच्छटा शरदिन्दुरिवा शरच्चन्द्रनिभा भाति तं वन्दे नीलचिन्मणिम्। ॐ अथ ऋग्वेदान्तर्गत ऐतरेयारण्यकान्तर्गत ऐतरेय उपनिषद। ॐ अथ प्रथमोऽध्यायः प्रथमः खण्डः। ॐ शान्तिमन्त्रः। ॐ वाङ् मे मनसि प्रतिष्ठिता मनो मे वाचि प्रतिष्ठितम् आविरावेर्म एधि वेदस्य माणिस्थः श्रुतं मे मा प्रहासीः अनेनाधीतेनाहोरात्रान् सन्दधामि ऋतं वदिष्यामि सत्यं वदिष्यामि तन्मामवतो तद्वक्तारमवतो अवतु माम् अवतु वक्तारम् अवतु वक्तारम्। ॐ शान्तिः शान्तिः शान्तिः। ॐ आत्मा वा इदमेक एवाग्र आसीत् नान्यत् किञ्चन मिषत स ईक्षत लोकान्नुसृजा इति स इमान् लोकान् असृजत। अम्भो मरीचिर्मरम् आपः अधः अम्बः परेण दिवं द्यौः प्रतिष्ठा अन्तरिक्षं मरीचयः पृथ्वीमरः या अधस्तात् ता आपः स ईक्षते मे लोकाः लोकपालान्नु सृजा इति सोऽद्भ्य एव पुरुषं समुद्धृत्य अमूर्छयतु तमभ्यतपत् तस्याभिदप्तस्य मुखं निरभिद्यत यथा अण्डं मुखाद् वाग् वाचः अग्निः नासिके निरभिद्येतां नासिकाभ्यां प्राणः प्राणात् वायुः अक्षिणी निरभिद्येताम् अक्षिभ्यां चक्षुः चक्षुषः आदित्यः कर्णौ निरभिद्येताम् कर्णाभ्यां श्रोत्रं श्रोत्रात् दिशः त्वं निरभिद्यत त्वचो लोमानि लोमभ्यः ओषधिवनस्पतयः हृदयं निरभिद्यत हृदयात् मनः मनसः चन्द्रमाः नाभिर्निरभिद्यत नाभ्या अपानः अपानान् मृत्युः शिश्नं निरभिद्यत शिश्नाद् रेतः रेतस आपः। ॐ शान्तिः शान्तिः शान्तिः। Friends, the first mantra, every word was exhaustively discussed. In that, the first line has to be remembered throughout life as a support for any of the further analysis or inquiries. That is, Atmava idam eka eva agre asit. Idam agre ekaha atma eva asit. The meaning of it. Before the idam got into manifestation, as we see now, it was the one without second self only. Okay, in this only actually all upasana sadhana is there. We have to be little careful in trying to catch the crux meaning of this sentence. The crux meaning of this sentence is what? The whole world of multiplicity, as we talk that it has come from the Atma, created by the Atma, whichever the language we talk for explanation, but the actual thing is it either came from the Atma or created by Atma, that is secondary. Primarily, the thought is it was Atma only. And created by the mud is the part, or came out of the mud is the part. Whatever the language we talk, we have to be very conscious about it. That before the pot got manifested, created, expressed, it was mud. This is the essence of entire Vedanta. The whole world is nothing but Parabrahma. This is the final. You can't have anything other than Parabrahma independent of Parabrahma. But sorting out is what? Reaching to that Parabrahma. Which stops us from reaching to Parabrahma is all these Rupanama only. Therefore, we have to transcend our involvement in all the Rupanama Jagat to discover the pure Parabrahma as ourselves. Only one way we can transcend all the limitation is knowing that they have come from Parabrahma. Therefore, they are as sacred as Parabrahma. Therefore, nothing in the world has to be that way coveted, etc. Only just look at and salute it, drop it, and reach to Parabrahma. That's why everything is created by Parabrahma from himself. That's what is proved to us or told to us. So, Atmava idameka eva agre asit. Equally potential and important is the second sentence. What is it? Na anyat kinchana mishat. At that time, other than Paramatma, there is nothing gross or subtler or causal. There is nothing cause or effect. There is nothing moving, immobile, nothing jada chetana other than him. That is the meaning of na anyat kinchana mishat. Same in Gita, Bhagavan says in 7th chapter, Matta Parataram Anyat Kinchit Na Asti, He Dhananjaya. This is the actual dhana. Oh Arjuna, you win over this dhana. During Rajasuya Yaga, you went in different direction and earned lot of dhana. Good. That's why your name is Dhananjaya. But real dhana is this knowledge that Matta Parataram Anyat Kinchit Na Asti. That what is said in 7th, slowly developing, giving Arjuna the training of doing all the upasanas. In the 11th chapter, Bhagavan shows it. Ki the whole universe is in me only. I myself, seen in a different form, is the universe. Na? Water seen in a different form, named differently, is called as a wave. Other than seeing in the form, naming it, there's nothing called as wave anytime, independent apart from the substratum, the water. So, na anyat kinchana mishat. Therefore, the whole problem is what? Anyata. Clear? So, there's nothing other than Paramatma. Therefore, if at all anything is there, it is Paramatma only. So, look at that pure Paramatma first in the cave of your heart. Experience Him as yourself. Then you play the play of forms and names for the sake of play. Then it is a play. It is not a sport. It is not a sport. Sport is the word English came from the Sanskrit word spardha. When it is a krida, there is no samsara. When it becomes spardha, then there is a problem. In spardha, sport loses its beauty of krida and it becomes competition. Once it becomes competition, nothing but risk. So the world is just a leela by the Lord. Krida only, not even spardha. Play, not sport. That play also came from pra-leela. Play and leela. Sport, spardha. Recognize it first, then the play the sport. Now the third sentence also is equally important in that first mantra. What is that? Saikshate me lokanusrujai iti. है ना? He is the one done the ikshanam. Sa ikshata lokannu sruja iti. Okay. He has done the ikshana of doing the srushti of the lokas. Okay. Then clear understanding is what for the lokas he wanted to create. He answer given is he for the prani karma phala upabhoga sthana bhutan loka. Today this thought will come, even tomorrow in our yoga darshanam. That sutra only we are seeing today. Tadartha eva drishyasya atma. Very good discussion. Slowly we do. So Saikshata, he visualized, he did sankalpa, he imagined, he planned. Words kuch bhi use karo. He has done the ikshana. That's why our Bhashyakara gave Takshakadi, the people like carpenters, sculptures, they do the ikshana of what to make, how to make. Then they actually make it. Here also, remember, the whole world is Ikshana Bhagavana. Yet, because of Jiva's Prarabdha, conducive for them, the Loka is created. Then extend this knowledge little further, it helps us. Ki, not only this world is created, projected for the prani karma phala, but the pranis are changing, their karmas are changing. Therefore, the karma phala also has to change. Therefore, in a continuous dynamic movement of the change, the world always will be there. It can't be the same. We have to accept it. Means what? Why each of the yuga coming? Why not always only Krita or Satya Yuga? Why Treta, Dwapara, Kali? Yeah, there are jivas who have to exhaust these type of vasanas. For their sake, this time and this loka has to come. It goes on. In this way, in general, from the totality standpoint, having known that the Lord is the creator of the world through Ikshana, for the exhaustion of the karma phala for all the beings, then we have to become subjective. Therefore, what is my role in this world? In what way I have to use this world for my evolution? In that way, when we think, we get all beautiful answers. So, the whole world of multiplicity, as you see now, was Atma only before. And that Atma, when he was alone, there was nothing other than him. And such him only did the ikshana of wanting to create the worlds for the sake of the exhaustion of the karma phala for the pranis. See, udhar se idhar se udhar, subject matter is becoming clear. Then little intricate, subtle questions if one asks, they are already answered. What are they? How did he do the ikshana without the karyakarana sanghata? Answer is, for you and I as individuals, jivas, we may need karyakarana for the ikshana, but for Paramatma, who is Sarvagnya Sarupa, he doesn't need karyakarana. Is it not? The biggest problem in life as well as in spirituality is what? We limited with our own understandings or faculties. Try to look and assess and understand the world from our own limited standpoint. ये सबसे बड़ा कभी भी समझ में नहीं आने वाला प्रॉब्लम, कभी भी नहीं समझ में आता easily. That we have conditioned ourselves with variety of parameters. From those conditioned windows, we are looking at the world. Then we say correct or not. Arvai, you drop your standpoint, then you will know the truth. But terms of condition. Example is this. Okay, I need karyakarana sanghata for ikshanam. Everybody needs that. Therefore, God also needs. It is not necessary. That shackle we have to break. That Lord should behave as I am behaving. It is not so. He is Ishvara. He is Sarvagnya. The for his Ikshana, he doesn't need the Karya Karana Sanghata. Atma. And what is Atma? All details are given. Idam is the whole outer and inner world which is seen, experienced by us as Idam. All of that. Agre means Sushti se pehle Asit. Another deep question was asked to us: is now the world not the Atma? If you say yes, what will happen? Therefore, the world is real now, and no more there is Atma. So we can't catch Atma. There is no moksha. So let us suffer in the samsara. That will be the outcome if we say yes to this question. Even now, there is no Atma. अब नहीं है क्या? Then the Guru has to say, no, 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 even now that's Atma. Then he'll ask, then why did he use the word Asit? Then the answer is given. Vishesha asti. Is it not? उस विशेष को ड्रॉप करो. Everywhere what you see is Paramatma only. What is the Vishesha? This Rupa Nama which you see now, I call as world, was unmanifest at that level. Now manifest. That's it. Nama Rupe Vyakarvani. This is a creation in another Upanishad. चांदोग्य प्रदारगण में मैं अपने आप को रूप और नाम देता हूँ. ऐसा सोचा भगवान ने. देते ही वो दुनिया बन गया. द वर्ल्ड appeared as the world by just giving Vyakarana of Nama Rupa. And to give Ananta Rupa and Ananta Nama, he has got Ananta Shakti. That's why you see the whole world. What is the whole world? One God with his Ananta Shakti expressing as Ananta Rupa, given Ananta Nama to them. And it will go on. So Atma va idameka eva agre asid nanyat kinchana mishato sa ikshata lokanno srujaiti. This much is over. Second mantra also we started explaining. Evam ikshitva bhashya. Alochya. In this way, having done the sankalpa of loka srushti, what did he do? Saiman lokan asrujata. He created these worlds. 4 worlds, which are the places for the jivas to experience their karma phala. याद रखना एक बहुत क्यूट थॉट. दिस इज बेस्ड ऑन दिस वेदांतिक थॉट एज वेल एज द yoga darshanam thought. What is that? The entire drishya and universe and jagat is for the upabhoga as well as apavarga of the jiva. Upabhogartham or bhogartham as well as apavargartham. Same thing in Tulasi Ramayana said as Maya has got 2 things. One Vidya Maya, another is Avidya Maya. Avidya Maya Dushta Ja Vasa Jiva Para Bhavakupa. It puts the jiva in the Bhavakupa. संसार के कुएं में डालता है. अपरा द परा विद्यावान इज व्हाट which is भगवान के हाथ में है. उनका शक्ति है, पॉजिटिव है. एक रचय जगह गुण बस थाके प्रभु प्रेरित नहीं निज बल ताके. तो प्रभु प्रेरित वो जगत बनाने वाली है, साधक जीवों को सहाय हेल्प करने वाली है. दैट इज विद्या माया. इन द सेम वे when we correctly understand, that's called as darshanam, samyak darshanam. We are going to study it. Then instead of using the word for bhoga, that is samsara, we can use the same word for apavarga, the moksha. That knack, the technique by which we use the word not for bandhanam but for the moksha is called samyak darshanam. That in Gita and third chapter called as yogaha karmasu kaushalam. The generally binding things alone are used for liberation is called moksha. Like one thorn gone into the feet. Use another thorn which is piercing. But with this you remove the earlier thorn and throw both away. That's called yoga. See? Karmasu kausharam. You removed that earlier thorn with the second and thrown. So to doing all karma sadhanas by which earlier karma vasana samskar removed and both of them thrown, we remain as the self. That is called as sadhana. That is called samyak darshana. Correct understand. We're all struggling from last 3 years. We don't know for how many years or janmas we struggle. Whole thing is for a crystal clear picture. What is reality, what it is appearing us, how it is binding us, how these binding aspect has to be removed, how the realizing aspect is experienced. The clear vision of all these things, called as Samyak Darshanam, is the one we are trying to gather or gain. थोड़ा थोड़ा लगेगा और बहुत टाइम, उतना कैपेसिटी दिमाग में नहीं है हमारा, तो जितना है उतना ही होएगा. Is it not? So, the second shloka we started, Sa iman lokan asrujata. These are the lokas, the one out of his ikshana, out of himself only he has created. Okay. With Bhashya we are studying it. In this second mantra, which are the four lokas that are created? They are named first. Then they are indicated to us in this whole cosmos. The lokas created are Ambaha Marichihi Maram Apaha. है ना? Ambho Marichir Maram Apaha. Okay. Among them, Adaha Ambaha Parena Divam Dyauhu. तो द्युलोक के ऊपर जो है, that is called as Ambaha. Then Antariksham Marichayaha. The below loka from that is called as Marichi loka, which is in our language we call as Antariksham. Third one is Pruthivi, is the Mara in the word used in the Upanishad. So the Mara is Pruthivi, Antariksham is called as Marichayaha, then अधस्तात, पृथ्वी के नीचे अधस्तात जो है उसको कहा आपह. सो बिलो भूलोक, भूलोक, भूलोक से ऊपर अंतरिक्ष लोक, अंतरिक्ष लोक से ऊपर जो द्युलोक है. They are the four worlds. So we have to understand, you and I as Jiva have the avajahi into these four worlds depending on our own karma, karma phala, karma samskara ityadi. This we have studied in Bhagavatam, not once, 3 or 4 times the topic came. थर्ड में आया, 5 में आया, है ना, फिर 7 में थोड़ा आया, 11 में आया, स्कंद में, everywhere we saw. Okay. Now these words, they are a little mystical. Only on Sita meditation they get revealed to us. Okay. So the lower lokas below the earth itself, Antariksha, and beyond Antariksha, Dilok ke upar. All of that. And then 1 or 2 questions are asked. They are being answered by the Siddhanti. Saha Atma Iman Lokan Asrujata Sushtavan. I am reading the Bhashya now and telling. That self is the one. Iman Lokan Asrujata. These lokas he has done the creation. Therefore, the 2 steps are, one is Ikshanam, second is realizing that Ikshanam. He done the Ikshana of the Loka Srushti, and that Ikshana is fulfilled in doing the Srushti of those Lokas. Just to make it clear, He gave an example. Bhashyakara yata iha buddhiman takshadihi evam prakaran prasadadena sruje iti ikshitva iksha anantaram prasadadin सृजति तद्वत. Anybody first imagines ऐसे बनाना है, then ही बनाते हो वैसा ही. Okay, so simple it is to understand. Bhagavan also ikshitavan and sushtavan. In the first sloka he did the ikshanam, in this sloka he has done the srushti, like a carpenter or sculptor or painter or anyone. Now from that comes a question. Ki for the sculpture or the examples, there are upakarnas. कारण है, उपादान कारण है, निमित्त कारण है, करण कारण है. Therefore he created. But परमात्मा तो अकेले है. How did he create the world? What are the upadana इत्यादि for it? Question पूछना चाहिए. So ननु स उपादानः तक्षादिः प्रासादादीन् सृजति इति युक्तम्. But nirupadanah atma katham lokan sujati. है ना, nirupadana atma katham lokan. Okay, so actually srushti is not there. What is there is Paramatma. But we are saying srushti. When the srushti is done, then who is the doer? We have to ask the Lord. Then what is the upadana karana ityadi? Question obviously comes because in the Vyavahara we see a pot maker with the mud and the wheel and the danda is making the pot. The pot is created. Making the pot is creation. The mud is the upadana karana. The way the wheel and the danda are the instrument karana. And the pot maker himself is the nimitta karana with his wisdom. This is so in any of the created things in the world. So this is how the creation should be in general. If yes, when the Lord created the Jagat, he also should follow these things. In that case, what is the Upadana? You know, the answer given by the Lord Bhagavan Adi Shankara Siddhanti is really thought provoking, very sublime. Bhagavan himself is there at any period of time, but we are seeing Srishti. Then the Srishti has happened. Then he is become Karta. Then what is the Upadana? We ask. To answer or satisfy our question, the answer given is what? This नाम रूप जो है ना, ये जो अनमैनिफेस्ट है थे ना पहले, that unmanifested stage of रूप नाम is the upadana. The unmanifest stage of Rupa Nama is the Upadana with which the world created. That's why I said it is thought provoking, subtle. So you see, na esha doshaha. First he gave example. Salila fena sthaniye atma bhote nama रूपे अव्याकृते आत्म एक शब्दवाच्ये व्याकृत फेन स्थानीयस्य जगतः उपादानभूते संभवतः. जो नाम रूप जो व्याकृत नहीं हुए, अव्याकृत थे, वन परमात्मा के साथ वन थे, दैट बिकेम उपादान कारण फॉर द लेटर ऑन व्याकृति और एक्सप्रेशन ऑफ द रूप नाम विच वी कॉल इट एज सृष्टि. एग्जाम्पल जैसा है वैसे ही द होल वर्ल्ड फुल ऑफ रूप नाम. नाउ this unmanifest stage of the Rupa Namata, at that time it was in the Paramatma. That unmanifest Rupa Namata of the world in himself is taken as Upadana by the Lord, with which whole world of Vyakruta Rupa Nama is projected, created. Very tough, very subtle point. That Purva Pakshi tries to separate creation from Bhagavan. by which in Bhagavan the Dvaita and limitation is brought. Then you can't achieve liberation by achieving anything which is limited. Therefore, moksha is not possible or not there. So let us continue to be in samsara. In the Dvaita, in the duality. While doing punya papa, going through sukha dukkha. This is how the Purva Pakshi's limitation in thinking. सिद्धांति को क्या है? एक तो अनुभव इज प्रमाणम, सेकंड इज श्रुति इज प्रमाणम. श्रुति प्रमाण इज एकमेवाद्वयम ब्रह्म. Anubhava also ekam Brahma. Now, keeping these things intact, he'll have to answer the Purapakshi, the Prashnakarta, to lift his mind to this level. Therefore, what is done? Avyakruta Rupa Nama is made as the, what do you call, Upadana Karana. And that Avyakruta Rupa Nama, at the stage of Avyakruta, were one with Paramatma, which was said in the first mantra. Atmava idam eka eva agre asit. So, what should be little subtle understanding? Before creation, the Rupa Nama were Avyakruta. During and the time of creation, Avyakruta Rupa Nama became Vyakruta. When the dissolution happens, the Rupa Nama which are Vyakruta again go back to Avyakruta. This is one thing. Second is, what is the position of the Paramatma? He alone was there before creation. During the creation also he was there. After the creation dissolves, he alone is there. Then what is creation? Avyakruta Rupanama getting Vyakruta. What is the dissolution? The Vyakruta Rupanama going back to Avyakruta. What is the creation of pot? The unmanifest name and form of the pot from the mud is made to manifestation. What is the dissolution or destruction of the pot? The Rupa and Nama with which it was there so far is merged in to the mud in their अव्याकृत रूप. है ना? रूप नाम जो है अव्याकृत हो गया, अव्यक्त हो गया, अनमैनिफेस्ट हो गया in the mud. So this is how the answer is given, that the avyakruta rupa nama is the upadana. Okay. Now, second line. Tasmat atma bhuta nama rupa upadana bhuta san sarvagnya. Now, by these first 3-4 sentences or lines, only 3-4, what we derive so far as the concluding understanding is Paramatma was there before, in whom the whole world of Rupanama is in Avyakrita Sthiti. That Paramatma wanted to create the world which is Vyakrita. He has got inside himself the Avyakrita aspect of the would be Jagat created. Therefore, that's Avyakrita को उन्होंने व्याकृत बनाया बस. That's what he said. कि तस्मात् आत्मभूत नाम रूप उपादान भूतः. आत्मभूत मीन्स अपने से एक हुआ. किसका? नाम रूप जो उपादान साबित किया गया यहाँ इन देर अव्यक्त स्थिति. रूप नाम अव्यक्त स्थिति इज उपादान for the Rupa Nama Vyakta later on. Before it became to the Vyakta, the Upadana Karana Rupi Rupa Nama is what? Atma Bhutaha. It was one with the self, which was said Atmava idam eka eva agre asit. So Atma Bhuta Nama Rupa Upadana Bhuta. Son being so, that Sarvagnya, because he is the one who has done the Ikshana. है ना? ईक्षण करने की शक्ति सर्वज्ञता के कारण रखने वाले सर्वज्ञ ईश्वर ने परमात्मा ने आत्मा ने ईक्षण करने के बाद फिर अपने से अलग नहीं रहने वाला रूप नाम का अव्याकृत स्थिति जो बाद में आने वाला रूप नाम का उपादान कारण है, उस अव्याकृत को उन्होंने व्याकृत की. दैट्स इट. सर्वज्ञ जगन निर्मिमीते इति अविरुद्धम. So he is the one, he has this way created the world. There is no need to have any worry और विरुद्धता की तक्षक आदि upadana of so many things. Therefore, they created it for Paramatma. Where are the upadhanas? Don't have the viruddha. The avyakruta rupanama itself is the upadana for the Lord to create the vyakruta rupanama jagat. This avyakrita, which is upadana from the world standpoint, is Atma Bhuta from Paramatma standpoint before it gets to Vyakrita Sthiti. सारे रूप नाम लहर के सारे पानी में होना चाहिए, समुद्र में होना चाहिए. ऑल ऑर्नामेंट्स ऑफ रूप नाम हैव टू बी इनहेरेंट इन द गोल्ड. दिस अंडरस्टैंडिंग इज कॉल्ड सूक्ष्मता. If one can catch it, he is really becoming spiritual. That dissolves some of the blockades in the spiritual evolution. यही हमें भगवत गुरु की कृपा की जरूरत होती है, पकड़ने के लिए इस बात को, समझने के लिए इस बात को. Many other things in spirituality, sadhanas, etc., we can do. But these are the crucial places where very subtle understanding we have to have. This is where the Guru Bhagavat Krupa invoked through Upasana helps us to grasp or the catch. Paramatma is Paramatma always. In him, with him, oneself, never separate from him, is the Jagat of its Avyakrita Namarupa Sthiti. Then, when he has done the Srushti Sankalpa, then that Avyakrita ko unhone Vyakrita bana di. That's it. This is what the meaning of this. Now, another explanation is given to the question of Purva Pakshi regarding what was the Upadana for the Ishvara to create Srushti. Like Takshakadi have their own, carpenter has the wood, pot maker has the pot, has the Upadana Karana. The goldsmith has the gold Upadana with which, using his own Nimitta Karanata, he created the Srushti of ornaments. नेक्स्ट कहते अथवा यथा यथा विज्ञानवान मायावी निरुपादानः आत्मानम् एव आत्मा अंतरत्वेन आकाशेन गच्छन्तम् इव निर्मिमीते. एग्जाम्पल ऑफ जादूगर. ही विदाउट चेंजिंग हिमसेल्फ with his magic kshamata capacity makes appear a sky, makes himself somebody other than the one who is showing the magic, and makes him fly in that sky, move in that sky. Mayavi ka jnana. Again I am reading. Yatha Vijnanavan Mayavi, a very matured magician. जानने वाला क्या करता है वो? निरुपादान आत्मानम एव. निरुपादान himself, he has no other upadana for him. Then आत्मानमेव, अपने आप को ही, आत्मा अंतरत्वेन आकाशेन, something other than himself like an akasha, having projected it in that akasha, gacchantamiva, as if he is moving, nirmimite, it has the nirmana of a scene for the outside onlookers. Very good example, powerful example, contemplative example. Nirmimi. Tatha, in the same way, Sarvagnaha Devaha. Paramatma, who is Sarvagnaha, Sarvashakti, is also has got the infinite Shakti in him, called as Mahamaya. He has got Mahamaya, therefore he is Mahamaya. Atmanameva, his own self. Listen carefully one by one. Atmanameva, Atma Antaratvena, as if other than the self. Jagad Rupena, in the form of the Rupanamatmak Jagat, Nirmimite, he has manifested. Iti Yukta Taram. This is a better way of explaining about the creation. Hmm. Evam cha sati. If this explanation is given, then karya karana ubhaya asadvadyadi pakshaha cha. So बोध कार्य नहीं है, कारण नहीं है, ऐसे जो कुछ नहीं है, जो नास्तिक बोलते हैं ना, all these Buddhas and some of them, that न प्रसज्यन्ते, proves to be wrong. सुनिराकृता च भवति, उनका निराकरण हो जाता है इस तरह का एक्सप्लेनेशन देने से. एग्जाम्पल मायावी का लेकर, he has no thing other than him, he alone is there, but he himself projects the world, projects himself to be as if somebody else, and in that world or akasha makes this projected individuality move. In the same way, Paramatma has no other nirubhadi, and yet with his achintya ananta maya shakti, he alone is appearing in the form of the whole world. So तथा सर्वज्ञः देवः सर्वशक्तिः महामायः आत्मानमेव आत्मा अंतरत्वेन जगद रूपेण निर्मिमीते, as if something other than the self or the जगत in front है, ऐसा उन्होंने अपने आप के माया शक्ति से एक सब्सटैंशियल दिखने वाला जगत का निर्माण किया. इति युक्ततरम एवं च सति. If this is so, then कार्यकारण उभय असद्वाद्यादि पक्षाः च न प्रसज्यन्ते सुनिराकृताः च भवन्ति. Hmm. Hmm. Those who say the Asatvadins are peculiar. They say no Jagat is there, they say no Paramatma is there. वो कहते हैं असद्वादी. वेदांत क्या कहती है? सद्वाद. Parabrahman alone is there independently, transcendentally. Parabrahman alone is there immanently in the form of this Rupanama. This Vedantic approach. देर अप्रोच इज असदवाद. तो असदवाद का खंडन होता है जब ये बात कहते हैं, टेकिंग द एग्जांपल ऑफ ए मायावी हु हैज नो उपादान but still he has projected a space, he has projected himself on a horse and he is flying in the space. वैसे मायावी दिखाते हैं, नो लोग देख भी लेते वो. He is here only. Something jadoo karte hai. He appears in different form on a horse in a space and moving. There is no space, there is no horse, there is nobody other than him has that a rider, nor there is a movement. But दिखाया कि नहीं मायावी ने. अब छोटे भौतिक जगत का मायावी ये कर सकता है, तो सारे मायाओं के मायावी परमात्मा, do you think he can't express as this world? He has expressed. अपने आप को ही उपादान बनाकर, देयर नो अदर उपादान है, निरुपादान है, इस जगत के रूप में उन्होंने प्रकट किया. दैट्स द एसेंस. न प्रसज्यन्ते सुनिराकृताः च भवति. सेकंड, नाउ स इमान् लोकान् सृजत. Which are the lokas created? That will be the very interesting topic. Remember, first the lokas are created, then Virat Purusha is created under Upena. From him, the Golakas express. From them, the Indriyas come out. From them, Indriyadhisthana Devatas. To this whole set, be attentive. To this whole set of Indriyas, Indriyadhisthana Devatas, Anantakarana. To stay, they wanted a place. Then Bhagavan created the cows and horses. They did not like. Then he created the human, they liked it. Then भगवान को उन्होंने पूछा, भगवान ने परमिशन दी, they entered. Now having all this entry of Adhisthana Devatas, Indriyas happened in the human body, entry. Still that equipment is unmoving, inert. Because The whole thing is inert only, other than Paramatma called as Maya. So to that sentiency is given only by the God. Therefore, in the last step, what is it is, without me they can't exist. Therefore, let me enter into it. Karke, Bhagwan himself, Simana Vidharya, he entered. Then for a long time, as a jiva, went through the bhoga. Then inquiry set in him, contemplation. Through that, he discovered himself again, everything to be the one without second Brahman. Thus, the apavarga, the liberation happened to that. So, this is how this whole Upanishad, through Adhyaropa Pavada Paddhati, guides us. Let's just give an idea. So tomorrow we'll see the Ambaha, Marichir, Maramapaha. They're all created and where are they positioned? Then next session में भगवान ना उनके लिए क्या कहते हैं लोकपालकों को सृष्टि करे. Because without lokapala they will be destroyed. Therefore he creates. How the lokapala created? By the manifestation of the Virat Purusha from the waters. So these are all very realizable, though they are highly mystical, on the seat of meditation or deeply when we inquire the phenomena of the world. उसका थोड़ा टच हम कल परसों करेंगे. थैंक यू. ओम शांति शांति शांति.